Morning, guys. How you doing? Today is Tuesday, September 19th, also known as Mariel's daughter Sophia's 15th birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Sophia. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update, and then I got to go dry my hair and get on with my day. I was out of commission all day yesterday. I went to the dentist, and I was in so much pain. I was rubbing all that toothpaste stuff in my teeth and gums. So I got to the endodontist, I think it's called, root canal guy. He walks in, the man's hands were like this big, like they were the size of baseball mitts. I'm like, how are you putting your hands in my mouth? Sweet doctor. He was adorable. So he was like, okay, what's going on? And I said, well, I think it might be the cracked crown. I don't know where the pain's coming from. And I said, because it started back there, but now it's coming like all on this whole side, and it shot up to my eyeball. So he said, okay, you're not going to like this, but I got to test it with cold. Oh, so they use that. It looks like dry ice, whatever it is. So he put the cotton swab on there, and he's like, as soon as you feel pain, raise your hand. And I'm like, okay. So I raised my hand, and he's like, okay, close your mouth. And all this like steam stuff was coming out of my mouth. He's like, close your mouth and warm it back up. And I'm like, okay. So he did that with a couple of the teeth. So the crown wasn't the problem. The one next to it wasn't the problem. Then he got to, it's like the tooth behind my eye tooth. And he put the stuff on there, and I had no reaction at all. So he's like, that's the tooth that has the problem. So within about 30 seconds of him testing all these teeth, the pain was back, and it shot straight up to my eye. So I'm like, like grabbing my face and like squirming in the chair. And I'm like, oh my God, make it stop. So he laid me back in the chair and like instantly froze my face. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, okay, you need to bring that stuff and come live with me, because that's wonderful. The fact that you can make that pain go away that fast. He's like, no, we're just going to do a root canal. So it was on this tooth up front, and that's why the pain, but because there's so many nerve endings or whatever, it was shooting all through there. So he did the root canal. So they lay me down, and they give you this dam for your mouth. Now, if you've always taken care of your teeth and you've never been to the dentist, a dam is like this piece of rubber about this big. It's like flimsy. It's like paper, thin. And they put this rubber dam in your mouth, and it kind of goes in your mouth a little bit, like it catches all the crap that they're about to shave off your teeth. And then they cut a little hole out, and they clamp it to your teeth over here on the side, and they cut a little hole out for the tooth that they're going to work on. So they put all that in and everything, and he gets drilling into that tooth. And I was frozen really good, but not enough, because I felt something and I twitched, and he's like, whoa, and he rips the dam out of my mouth. And he's like, okay, just a second. And he gets more Novocaine and stuck more in there. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, I don't care if I don't feel my face for the next 3 days. I just don't want to feel what you're doing right now. So he's like, no, you're not supposed to feel any of that. So he gave me some more Novocaine. And I was like, whew, that was fun. So then he's still drilling down into the tooth. So a root canal, they're basically going into the tooth and then into the roots and packing those full of crap. I'm not a dentist. What do I know? So he was doing that, and he was partially still, I don't know if he was still digging in there with the thing or if he was starting to pack it, but I felt something else. And he's like, and I was like, oh, and he's like, okay, just a second. He's like, you're really not going to like this, but it's only going to last for 2 seconds. And he put, I don't know what he did, because I was keeping my eyes closed, but he put something on my tooth. And the pain was so intense. I was like doing this with my feet on the chair. Like I was like, ah. And he's like, it's okay. And then the pain instantly stopped. I was like, oh my God, get me out of here. He's like, it's only going to last 2 seconds, but it was a very painful 2 seconds. And then whatever he did, the pain went away, but it was like, holy hell. So yeah, that really, like, I was like actually going like this and kicking my feet. I felt so bad for whoever was waiting to come in next from the waiting room. So anyway, he was really good about it, and everything was good. And he's like, it's okay, I got you, you're good. So anyway, so he did the root canal, and then he just packed it with a temporary filling. And they're like, so you're going to go over to your other dentist? And I'm like, I thought you were fixing me. And they're like, yeah, we are, but you still have to go get either a filling or a crown. So I was like, oh, I know it's going to be a crown because that would be more money for them. So anyway, so I had to leave there. It took about 2 hours. My appointment was at 10:15, and I didn't get out of there till about 12. So by the time they froze me and everything, that just takes a while. So I got out there at noon, came home, flaked out on the couch for a little while, and then I had to go to the pharmacy to get amoxicillin because they just don't want any infection in there. And then I had to get Demerol because they were going to give me Tylenol 3 with codeine or something. And I was like, no, I don't do well with codeine. When I had Bryn, I had an emergency C-section. And then they sent me home on Tylenol with codeine, and I just kind of wigged out a little bit. It's not an allergy to codeine, but I don't do well with codeine because I ended up with tunnel vision. I freaked out. I was terrified. I had a panic attack. It was really bad. Scott, we came home from the hospital. Scott's like taking her around the house, showing her the laundry room, showing her the house. And I'm like in her room going, bring the baby back, bring the baby back. Like I was just having a fit. Mom and Dad were in Florida. I had to call Annette. And I always just say Annette. And I actually said to Scott, get my sister. And he had to get her on the phone. Mom and Dad, oh my God, they had this huge phone bill trying to calm me down because they eventually found out I was freaking out, and Mom tried to call. So I eventually called the hospital, and the nurse was like, what are you on? And I said something with codeine. She's like, stop. Like, just stop taking it. So I've never had it since. And I like to think I have a strong pain threshold, but yeah, I don't know, but I just don't like taking medications if I don't have to. So I got the Demerol because they said that doesn't have codeine in it, but it is in the morphine family, and stuff like that just freaks me out. So I did end up taking one last night when I went to bed, and it just kind of knocked me out, and I slept all night. And now this morning I just have pain up here from where they put all the needles yesterday, because he probably jabbed me. It must have been about 7 times with needles just to numb everything. So, yeah, and I was frozen from here up to right in under my eye. Like, my eyelashes felt, like, twisted. So, anyway, and this freezing was still in my face last night. I went to bed around 10 o'clock, 9:30, and my face was still frozen. So I woke up this morning, so I'm just tender in my gums right there. I'm not taking any of the Demerol. I'm just taking some Advil. I took some this morning, just to kind of, make that feel a little bit better. So then I ended up having to go to my regular dentist after I got the kids from school, and I went there, and they did a crown. It's this one right here. It just feels kind of rough. So this is just my fake one for 2 weeks, and then I have to go back and get the real one put on. So, yeah. And as he was shaving this down, the tooth totally cracked in half and fell out. And I was like, oh, good. Do I get a discount? And they all just started laughing. They're like, no. I'm like, oh, well, that's too bad. Because my face did half the work. Like, why am I paying you? But anyway. So, but we had some insurance, so it was good. So it wasn't as expensive as it could have been, but it was still a pricey day. So, yeah, good times. I still need 2 crowns over here. I have the broken tooth that I did in Halifax, and I've got another crown over here. But I said, can we just hold off on those for a little while till we, have a lemonade stand and raise some money to pay for these things? So they said, yeah, and I bumped my cleaning to next year too. So, good times. But, and then the root canal guy, they just called me a few minutes ago just to see how I was making out. And I was like, oh, I'm good. So thank you so much. And yeah, so it was a long day. I didn't get home until about 5 o'clock from that. So it was just a long day of being in dental chairs, but it's just so nice to not have that pain. Like, I'm walking around still carrying my toothpaste, and I don't need to, and I was able to just use my regular toothpaste this morning. I'm still going easy on this side, but yeah. So thank you to all of you who wrote in and said, sorry you're in pain, and you guys that watched my video. And thank you to Linda, who said congratulations for getting out of your soul-sucking job. It's so true. It's so appropriate. It was soul-sucking. But yeah, so I'm going to get some stuff done today, because when I got home yesterday, I put on my jammies and my new fuzzy housecoat. I got the most, incredibly soft housecoat from Marshall's the other day. It was adorable. So I had that on and I just was basically sooking the rest of the evening, trying to eat and trying to drink with half my face frozen. So anyway, so I am going to be very productive today and get some stuff done. And like I said, I'm going to have some organizing videos coming up soon. And I'll get those up. Hopefully some of them I haven't filmed yet, so I still have to do that. But anyway, yeah. So you guys have a good rest of the week and have a good weekend. And thanks for caring. And I'll be back with some more videos soon. All right, take care, guys. See ya.